How I got started in property without quitting my job. So the first time I seriously thought maybe property's the way forward, it wasn't after reading books or watching hours of YouTube. It was actually when I got brave enough to knock through a bedroom wall in my own house to create a new doorway. And I remember I borrowed this electric demolition hammer to speed things up, and I was absolutely loving it. It felt like proper progress. But about 30 seconds in, my wife runs upstairs and shouts to me, "Stop what you're doing, the whole house is shaking." It was a lesson I'd learned. I had to go back to my smaller SDS drill, and then later I did a walk of shame around the house, straightening all the picture frames. But yeah, that project actually turned out all right. I built a new stud wall to separate the space, I plasterboarded for the first time, I moved some lights around, I added in a built-in desk and storage, and it made 2 different rooms way more functional. But not long after I had the house revalued, the surveyor that was revaluing told me that the layout change that I'd made converted the master bedroom to be more logical and appealing, and that one bit alone added about £10,000 worth of value, and I'd only spent about £500 on the materials to do it. Now, I'm not saying that's like a magic formula, but I remember thinking at the time, hang on, my own labour and time and effort has just added 20x in value to my property. And the big thing was, it wasn't the wall or the storage that I added, it was actually the logic of the space, which was confirmed by the surveyor. As a value of a property of someone looking to buy it, it made more sense. And that's when I really started thinking, this might be something that I should do more of. Finding houses with illogical layouts and problems and then fixing them to add value. Now at the same time, I'd been working at various investment banks for about 7 years at that point. And here's the thing about working at an investment bank. Because of insider trading rules, at least here in the UK, you're not allowed to invest in individual stocks yourself. You can only put your money into approved funds, so like ETFs or pensions, stuff like that, stuff you have no control over. And that's fine, I totally agree with it, but your average low risk UK fund might return 3 to 5% a year before all the taxes and fees, which is fine, but it is not amazing. So I started looking elsewhere for my savings, and then property stood out and started to make a lot more sense to me. But here's what I personally liked about it. You can leverage yourself safely, so mortgages are backed by real assets, the property, not just speculation like on the market. You can also physically add value through your own graft. There's no stock in the market where you can sand down walls, paint it, and then suddenly it's worth more. You just kind of have to like let it run. But for a property, you can add value yourself. It's also hands-on, which I really like because I sit at a desk all week and type on my keyboard. But with property, you can do a job and then literally see the result and feel proud of it. You also get multiple income streams, so rental income, capital growth, decent tax options if you set it up properly. And then finally, long term, it's a decent inflation hedge. So rents tend to move up over time with inflation, and they're probably one of the quickest to respond to inflation too. And it's not like Bitcoin, which I dabbled with in the past, which I'm not slating at all. People can invest in cryptocurrency if they want to, but property just feels a bit more grounded to me. Throughout modern history, people have always needed housing, and I think it's safe to say that in the future, people will still need housing. The supply and demand might shift around over time, and prices definitely move up and down, but I can't see a world where demand disappears completely for property. People will always need a place to live, and they'll always want to move house for various reasons. So that underlying demand makes a lot of sense to me. And then finally, and probably most important to me, is the fact that I'm making a bit of difference in the world. I'm not building mega developments or anything like that, but I like to think that I'm adding decent quality housing to the market. I don't try and squeeze every last penny of rent, I just try and put it for rent to cover my costs, beat the risk-free rate from banks, and then make it sustainable long term. I'm more looking at the capital growth side of things. But good homes, fair rents, and I'm proud of that. But anyway, after the first project that I did of the house knocking through the wall and such, sadly a close family member of mine passed away and I inherited £25,000, which was quite fortunate. Now, I wanted to be honest about inheriting that money because I think it's important to show how I actually got started. You might be watching this video with that much saved up already, or you've inherited it yourself, or you've had equity in your home that you can release, or maybe you think about taking out a personal loan to start your property journey. However it comes to you, £25,000 is enough to get started, and it was for me. It's enough to do your first deal and start building from there. And to be fair, if you're smart, patient, and make sure you're insured, it's pretty hard to lose money on your first deal. So that money I inherited helped me get from fixing up my own house to where I am now, with a few properties, a limited company, and hopefully an early-ish retirement on the cards, if I can be physically restrained to put down the hammer. I used that £25,000 to renovate a small studio flat, and it used to be a music room. It had electricity, but it wasn't really fit for purpose. There was also no water and no waste. So I ran the water to it from a supply. I got the waste across to it to join to the sewer. And then with a mate of mine who's a qualified sparky, we rewired the whole place. And then I fitted a small bathroom. I think it was 800 by 2000, so very small, but it's a studio flat. And it had a shower, a basin and a toilet with the pocket door as well. And with the pocket door, I made sure that like around the edging, there were absolutely no gaps, because it's like a pet peeve of mine when you use a toilet and it's got gaps around the edge. I like it to be sealed off when you close the door with a decent extractor fan as well. I won't talk too much more about that, but you know what I mean. It was the first time I took something that wasn't really a property and turned it into something people could actually live in, and I could rent it out short term. And yes, I did get it signed off by building control before anyone asks, because it was converting its purpose from a music room to a little let. But I remember looking at it after I finished as something I was properly proud of. It just worked. And then after that, I started looking into flips and buy-to-lets. That's when I dived deep into books and YouTube. I'd already worked in loans and mortgages at a tier 1 investment bank for several years at that point. So I had a pretty solid foundation from the financial perspective of things, but I really needed to get up to speed with the where and how of property investment. So I actually decided to go with the BRRR strategy, which is buy, refurbish, rent and refinance, which I explain in depth in my video that I'll link up here. It let me recycle my cash continuously and snowball into a few properties to make a portfolio. But I did make a few classic mistakes early on. Like I was buying properties in my personal name, so I got stung pretty hard on the Section 24 with tax. But you live and learn, and those lessons are now helping me try and help you to avoid the same mistakes. So after the renovations and properties I did in my personal name, I made the big decision in late 2024 to set up a limited company to invest properly and more efficiently. And I started documenting the process here as well, partly for my own record and partly to help anyone else that's thinking about starting. So most recently I bought and renovated a property in Newark. I've covered that whole process quite a lot on my channel. I completed the refinance just this week, 3 days ago, so the money's landed in my business account, and now I'm back out to looking for the next property. And as of this morning, I've just put in an offer for another place. If it goes through, I'll do a video on how I found that and what the plan for that is. But yeah, I wanted to share this story because I think a lot of people are where I was. You've got a job, maybe a family, not loads of spare time, but you want to get started in property. And honestly, you can, because I did. I didn't quit my job, I worked around it, and I didn't start with loads of money. I just started by fixing something in my own house, building that confidence, learning what adds value, and then slowly building up from there. If you're at the beginning of your journey and want something practical to get going, check out my video on buy-to-let basics. I'll link it somewhere over here. Cheers for watching, and I'll let you know what happens with this next property.